So today I will show different shapes of IV curve. How does those IV curve come and what is their relationship with the device, say configuration, say device, defects, those things I will show you. So let me begin. So start and then I will take any of the band gap. So just I wanted to p-type layer. So I will just making it p-type layer. Let me take a thickness of 1 micron. Band gap is 1.5. Other parameter I will keep as it is. I will add a n-type layer. So this will be your n-type layer now here. Okay. And the thickness, let me reduce the thickness to 0.5 micron only, or say 1.5 micron, or only 1 micron. Let me keep it 0.1 micron. And then okay, other thing are okay, band gap let me increase to 2.4 so it resembles your CDS layer. And then I will take a n plus type layer. So this is your n plus type. So this is okay. Now everything is done. Now in this structure, what I'm going to do is I will take the IV curve of this structure, P and N plus structure. So let me decrease it further, 0.3. Okay, then it's okay. So this is our structure P and N plus. In this structure, let me take the IV curve. So let me take IV curve, and what I'm doing is I'm taking IV curve in dark. So if I take IV curve in dark, so everything is done. I will take in dark only. Other points I've taken, everything is done. Okay, so now I can go to run the single shot. So if I run the single shot, you will see the IV curve coming out to be, this is IV curve coming out to be, okay, so current is 0. So this is a diode IV curve in dark. Okay. Now in this structure, if I take light and then if I just simulate it, so now dark and light behavior both are simulated. Okay. So now if I compare them, if I just compare them, you will see the difference. So 0.2 is okay. Here I will change it to say 50-55. Okay, so you can see these are the two IV curves coming out. So this red one is in the dark and blue one in the light. So you can see these two lines become parallel. So they never cuts. Okay, they never intersect. This is an ideal behavior of solar cell or ideal IV curve. These two will become parallel. So it is just like this IV curve, red IV curve shifted down in case of when illumination is happening. Okay, so that's the case. So important point here is that these red line and this blue line, they never intersect. That's the important point. Okay? If they intersect, they may intersect at infinite. So that's the case for ideal device. Now if I take back contact, so here what is this, there is a PN junction. So one PN junction is happening here. Okay, so that's one junction. This is our primary junction, PN junction. In this case, what I do, this back contact is a flat band, like it's a near ohmic contact I have taken. Now instead of this, if I just change it and if I just decrease it, say if I decrease to say 5 itself or 5.1 itself, if I decrease it. Okay, so work function of the metal I am taking relatively lower. That means now there is a metal semiconductor junction also is coming into the picture. So that will call as a Schottky barrier. So now there are two junctions, one PN junction and the other is Schottky junction, which is metal at the back contact and your p-type layer. That junction is also forming. So that junction now we have introduced by choosing a work function of considerably lower. Now if I just simulate this structure, now you will see the IV curve changed. Let us do that. So IV curve has changed considerably. IV curve has changed. So let me just show you that thing. See, now this, what is happening here in this case, this green curve is the light illumination curve and the red one is your dark curve, and they are intersecting. You can see this is clearly intersecting. Okay, so this this type of IV curve is called crossover. So this is crossover IV curve, crossover phenomena, whereby the light IV curve is intersecting the dark IV curve, and visually you can see that this is intersecting. So you can see there is a considerable VOC loss. So basically this is due to the fact that the Schottky barrier, which is a secondary junction in our device, which is aligned against or opposite to the primary junction, PN junction. So that's why there's a whatever VOC is generated, so considerable VOC is being lost at that secondary Schottky junction. Okay, so if you do IV curve dark and light and then you see crossover behavior, you can directly assign that, directly conclude that you have a metal semiconductor Schottky barrier in somewhere in your junction, in your device. Okay, so that's the one case. Okay, now I will show you the second case. So what happens when you take in this structure itself with a Schottky barrier you have already taken. In this structure, if I take high defect density of absorber layer, so absorber layer is your basically P type, so basically acceptor type. So I will select single acceptor, capture cross section I will keep the same, and if I increase the density, of defect, say 17, 10^17 if I take, and instead of single I will take uniform, and uniformly it is distributed throughout the forbidden gap, and the defect density I have taken this one. Now if I just simulate this IV curve, so now you will see some sort of variation in IV curve. So let me just realign it so that it is visible. So you can see now this kind of behavior, pink color line. Okay? So you can see what is happening now. This is called rollover. So IV curve is going flat, and after a certain VOC, after certain voltage, the current become parallel to the your voltage axis. So this behavior of IV curve is called rollover. This pink line, okay, this line, you can see this is a rollover effect. So why it is happening? I have already shown you why it is happening, because we have a Schottky barrier along with a high defect density in the bulk. Okay, so after VOC, that secondary barrier is allowing only a certain amount of current to pass. So that's the current has become constant, and whatsoever voltage you apply, all is getting lost at the secondary barrier, and the current become constant. Only a saturated current will be flowing in the device after VOC point. Okay, so this behavior is called rollover behavior, and this signifies if your device has this kind of behavior, you can directly tell that your bulk defect density in the absorber is high. As I have simulated, I have taken no other defect, only the bulk defect in P type, that to high defect density, along with the secondary barrier. I have included, and there is no other defect. Okay, so rollover and crossover I have signified. Okay, the third behavior, if I show you, so what I will do, I will just neglect it, remove this Schottky barrier. I will take flat band condition. So that flat band means near ohmic contact. So there's no secondary barrier, no Schottky barrier at your back contact. Okay, so this is flat band. Already front side will be always be flat band. Okay, so you can keep front side, because N type, making a ohmic contact with N type layer or N plus type layer is considerably easier. So this is already N plus, so this front band will always be your Schottky barrier, ohmic barrier, near ohmic barrier. Okay, so only the problem will come with P type material, metal contact with P type material. So it will always show like it is hard to make ohmic contact with P type layers. So that's the thing. So I have removed back contact barrier, and now what I will do, okay, let me keep it, no problem, I will keep it. So I can keep this thing. I will lower it down so that it is visible. I am just lowering it down, and what I will do, I will take interface defect. So interface defect I will take acceptor type. Okay, so acceptor type defect, and then this capture capture is very small. So what I will do, I will just increase it. I will increase it to -14, and both I will increase. capture cross section is higher, accepted type density, and this is your what I will take density. I will take say 11, 5 to 11, 5 to 5 into 11. This is the defect density I am taking, and let me distribute uniformly. I will take all the uniform distribution, and this is your interface defect now at the CJTS CDS interface. This defect density I have already taken. Okay. Now in this defect density, what I will do, I will go to CDS also and increase the CDS defect because CDS is N type, so donor type defect I am taking, and the defect density I am taking say 17, like high defect density in your CDS layer. And again one more thing, what I will do, I will take uniform only, uniform defect density let me take, like thoroughly spread out in the whole forbidden gap. So then I have taken this thing, and if I take this thing, I can lower it down, no problem. Okay, I will keep it same. So now what I have taken defect in P type, defect in N type, and interface defect. Okay. Now if I show you the band diagram earlier, the band diagram was looking like this thing earlier. What I will do here in this case, I will show you the effect of interface defect. That's why I have taken interface defect. Okay. So what I will do, I will just clear all simulation and will the value of 4.1 itself. Okay, accept it. Okay, clear all, so that it will be prominently visible to you. So due to this barrier at the interface, this particular barrier at the interface at observer buffer region, observer buffer interface. So this barrier, this height. Okay, so conduction of carriers is being inhibited by this barrier. So as this barrier height increases, there's a certain signature on IV curve. So you can see this type of S-type behavior is coming. Okay, so a perfectly S-type behavior will also can be observed if I have higher defect density at the interface and at the buffer. This is called S-king. So this is coming due to the interface higher interface defect and conduction band offset. There's a conduction band if offset mismatch is greater than 0.3 electron volt. 0.3 electron volt, then this kind of behavior. So all your fill factor is degrading. Okay, so the power output from the device will be reduced. Okay, cutting at some point, this is called crossover. I have shown you let me change the color. It's not okay, no problem. So this is crossover. I have shown you this kind of behavior where the current increases and then become parallel to this. This is rollover. I have shown you the other kind of behavior which is forming a S-type curve. This, so crossover, this is rollover, and this is S-king. Okay, so S-type IV curve. So these three IV curves are signifying that some particular dominant recombination is going into the device. So this is signifying that there is a presence of back contact barrier, and this is signifying that along with the back contact barrier you have a high defect density also, and this is signifying that interface defects along with conduction band offset, along with CBO conduction band offset greater than 0.3 when I take, then only it was visible, and interface defects are also high. So those things it is signifying. Okay. One more behavior you can see. Let me show you. I will just like remove all those things. So remove defect 1, accept it. So now defect is removed. I will keep these things same. Let me just nullify it so that it is more better visible to you. Okay, so in this IV curve now what I will take the effect of series resistance and shunt resistance. Okay, series resistance, shunt resistance if I take. So if I just go to record that setup and then just go to series resistance value, RS value, and this I start giving value 1, 2, 5, 10, 20. So these resistance value I am giving, series resistance value basically I am giving. Now if I just simulate the IV curve, you can see a particular dominant effect of series resistance on the IV curve itself. So they will cause direct fill factor reduction. So you will see the value here when this is completed. So this is a particular signature. This will also give you a particular type of signature for your IV curves. So you see your voltage is decreasing down. Not voltage, because this is not the exact IV curve. I will just plot this, then it will be more suitable for analysis. So 1.2 only, let me take 1.3. okay. Now you can see your fill factor is decreasing down. Your VOC is constant, whereas your current is decreased little bit. Okay, so this is the case. This is the effect of your series resistance values. Series resistance values, you can see there's a change in the current value, whereas the voltage is fixed. Okay. Similarly, if I go and change not the series resistance but shunt resistance value, and shunt resistance value should be high. So what I do, I will take 1000 value, 10,000, then 1000, then 100, and then 50. Let 10. Okay. So now you will see a considerable change on the IV curve. So calculate batch, clear all simulation. Okay. So now you will see the effect of shunt resistance. So both will cause a reduction in the your fill factor values. So instead of a exponential curve, they can make a straight line if both you take unoptimum values. So the IV curve, this is the IV curve we are observing. What I have did is calculate batch, IV curve. Okay, so now let me just change these values. So I will take 1, and then here I will take 1.2. correct. So you can see there is a reduction huge reduction start in your VOC values. Current is remaining same. Okay, and fill factors. So instead of exponential curve, which is exponentially increasing, this line has become straight. So that's what the point here is. So let me just show it perfectly. Minus 0.5 if I take to 1.2, that's okay. And here if I take 2 from 50 minus 50 to 50 plus 50 or plus 20, let me take. Okay, so now you can see. So I have given value from 0 itself. That's why it's not coming down like negative values. You can see a straight line coming out. So straight line has become just because the effect of series shunt resistance. Okay, so those sort of IV curves are there. Different IV curves are there, and these are very much these are directly giving signals that what recombination mechanism is going into it. So one can do cross study one can do. So if experimentally you are observing some particular IV curve phenomena, IV curve variation or IV curve signature, you can assign it to the causing defect, which prominent defect is causing it. So similarly you can do these things on your AC analysis. When you do your CV curve, CF curve, those analysis you can do, and then one can get like good publication over it. So it depends upon the application only. So if I show you some paper regarding it, so you can see these sun VOC characteristics for high performance gastrite solar cells. So here they have given all those datas, like how particular defect signature is being shown. So this again here, this paper, defect signature of VOC characterization on thin film solar cells. So this is again one paper. So what I will do, I will just show you the images out of this paper. So that will give you more, see all those different type of IV curve behaviors. So you can see VOC becomes saturated after some illumination intensity. So this is again signifying one particular recombination mechanism. Okay. Similarly, you can see other behavior also. See this one. So illumination intensity, light intensity, and with VOC. So with different carrier mobilities. So if the carrier mobility is different, you can see saturation coming out. So one can assign those particular points. Like here, carrier mobility is being assigned as a causing this type of saturation in VOC with illumination intensity. So this kind of behavior. So these things one can simulate out, and then one can like gives. Here you can see again sun and VOC characterization, or illumination intensity and VOC characterization. One can see as the defect density increases. See the defect absorbed bulk defect density increases, again this kind of behavior is observing. And when there is a no defect, you can see when there is a no internal bulk defect, there is a straight line is coming, like linearly VOC linearly increases with illusion density. But when there is a defect, the VOC is like saturate out. So those kind of behavior, those kind of study one can do, and one can like get a good publication. So same thing is also been shown here also. Similar kind of behavior also been depicted. You can just see it out. If this images got opened, you can see out. So these images, if I just plot the images here, so you can see when there's a flat bend at the back, and when you have a band bending or some barrier, then this kind of behavior is coming in VOC, and this kind of behavior is coming in temperature variation of VOC. Saturation is being shown. So these two are signifying, like pointing out to one particular issue in the device. Okay, so similarly those kind of, here you can see, so those kind of study are like suitable and one can do it. So yeah, so hope you learned something about different type of IV curves. And if you have any doubt, the discussion forum is always open. So thank you for listening.